Hello everyone. Tonight I really just wanted to make a video that I'm really personally interested in. Yes, it's a kind of spooky subject, and I wouldn't even say it's so much spooky as just interesting / creepy and unexplainable. I feel like things that are unexplainable are often just inherently kind of creepy. What am I talking about? Well, let me tell you. There is an app called Randonautica. It is created by Niantic, the same people who created Pokemon. So basically, this app called Randonautica uses a quantum computer that is based in Australia to create random numbers in the form of coordinates in your area. Now, what makes this kind of a weird quantum reality escape from the Matrix experience is before you choose your coordinates that the app will assign you, you're supposed to set an intention for what you want to find there. So it can be anything, something simple like a color, like pink, purple, blue, a triangle, like simple things, right? Or it could be something as deep as, give me a sign for what my future is going to be like. Give me a sign about what I should do in this situation. And people also set creepy intentions, like show me something scary. I want to see something scary. And sometimes even when you don't ask for something scary, the results are scary. And we'll get into that in a minute. But I just want to make sure I finish explaining this app. The app sends you to random locations based on the intentions that you set. Now, the crazy part is you don't even input the intentions into the app. You just think it. You don't even have to say it out loud. You can just think it. And the results that I've been seeing on Reddit and YouTube are showing that most of the time it actually works, which is mind-blowing. Tonight, I just kind of wanted to read some examples. Let's find some news stories from the Reddit thread. Bumblebee Grape says, "My intent was for a sign on how to deal with an ex who came back into my life this week. Here's a photo of the sign that they saw when they went to the coordinates shared by the app." That is a very clear sign. Bumblebee Grape, don't do it. Don't go back. A girl I know has been missing since March. Naturally, my intent was her. I was brought to the Merrimack River twice and then Merrimack Street. A couple hours later, these popped up on Facebook. Woman's body pulled from Merrimack River. The body of a woman has been pulled from the Merrimack River, according to fire officials in Manchester, New Hampshire. The department said its boat unit responded Friday afternoon to a report of a person in the water near Interstate 293 overpass. It said the body was spotted by a person in a canoe and that the police officer had already pulled the body ashore by the time fire officials arrived. Wow. Well, that's really sad. I mean, this app is crazy. Like, literally, there's like deep stuff happening. The most wild case was of these kids in Seattle who came across literally a dead body in a suitcase. And the intention that they set before they went was travel. And it wasn't anything creepy at all. It was just travel. And the body was in a suitcase. And this is real, guys. This isn't some urban legend or fake. This is a real thing. This is a real event that just happened, and that's why this app is kind of a trip. I hear that it's working a lot with the intention setting, but it's not always like for example, she wanted to find happiness and it took her to a grave with the name Joy, and like joy is synonymous for happiness, but then like the grave is kind of like a sad thing, you know? So it's interesting. Like, they said travel, which sounds exciting and happy and fun, and then they just found a dead body in a suitcase. Like, mind-blowing. So you never really know what you're gonna get with this app. So if you use it, definitely be careful, but it's for sure interesting. First time randonauting, and the intent was UFOs, and this is what I found. Google TR3B. When you Google TR3B, it says that it's an unidentified flying object. So it's a UFO, literally. Intent was vampires, and found this on a dead-end street. Whoa, what? Their intent was Disney, and they literally got taken to Disney Road. That is crazy. My daughter told me about randonauting, and today we went. Intent was big money. We were not disappointed. Whoa, that's crazy. What? A little too weird to be coincidence. So this was my first ever randonauting experience. I was with my boyfriend and one of our friends, and we decided to go with lonely as our intent. I know that's kind of vague, but we are all new to this. The first place it took us to was about 8 minutes away. We drove to what ended up being a school bus lot that I've lived close to my entire life. The lot is right next to a bunch of apartment complexes. We pulled into the driveway and tried to figure out where exactly the point was without getting out of the car. After a minute, we pinpointed it to be exactly at this shed in one of the apartment's backyards, probably about 30 feet away from us. This is where it got a little strange. The second we realized it was a shed, we all looked at it, and the doors to the shed flew open. It might not seem very weird, but nobody was in the shed, and it was not windy enough for the doors to open themselves. We sat there for about 15 more minutes, and every once in a while, the doors would open and close again. We tried to get a good angle to see the shed, but it was behind a gate. My boyfriend walked up to the gate, and all he saw was a single chair sitting in the shed with nobody sitting in it. Eventually we left and went to a few other points, but none of them seemed to match our intent or have anything meaningful. But this is where it gets weird. The next day, I was telling my friend about what happened. She's in her 30s and lived in this area her whole life. After I told her, she was shocked and told me this. When she was in high school, about 15 years ago, her friend's dad committed suicide in the exact spot we were at. She said it was all over the news back then, and lots of people still talk about it. I don't know if this has anything to do with the shed. Maybe he was near the shed when it happened, or maybe I'm just making something out of nothing. I don't know what to think. Not experienced in this area. Someone in the comments said, loneliness is usually what pushes people with depression to end it. I believe that spot had some sort of emotional strength because of the events that took place there. Oh my god. Okay, this one is creepy. Got a pin dropped to avoid in a vineyard a mile out of town. Our intent was evil. We found this owl in the video. Compare it to the app's logo. Oh my gosh, so first of all, they found a dead owl. So that in itself is creepy, that the coordinate took them to this dead owl. Secondly, it does look like the app's logo. The app's logo is an owl. It is an owl with its neck all twisted. The other thing that I heard about owls is if you see an owl while on your adventure, it means your destiny has been changed forever. But the fact that they were looking for evil and then they found the owl, the symbol of the app itself, is kind of concerning. Like, does that mean the app is evil? I don't know. That's kind of creepy. Oh my gosh, this is so good. So my intent was to find something weird, and it pinned it to my living room. Well played, universe. Dang, the universe is trolling people out here hard. This one's called Someone Called Me. Somebody called me and said they found my phone number written on a rock in my hometown, and that they manifested me using the app, and they knew what I looked like. They said they found this app from TikTok. Someone please tell me what the fuck is going on, or if someone I pissed off is just fucking with me. I can't call the number anymore. It goes straight to voicemail. I don't even know what to feel about that. That's just really strange. My intention was ghost. My fiance and I went randonauting for the first time, and we weren't really sure what we were doing, so we didn't really have an intent. But we are really into ghosts and getting scared, so I was subconsciously thinking about something paranormal happening as we went through the experience. The first location took us to a house right across from a cemetery. We didn't want to trespass, so we decided to park in the cemetery and walk around a little bit, just to see if anything would happen. All we saw were some broken headstones placed by a small building and a strange caution sign placed near one of the headstones. The second location was about 8 minutes away, but the app had us stop on the side of the road next to a guardrail, which had a path I had never seen before. My fiance followed it as there was a steep hill. I stayed at the top where I could still see him. He said he got a bad feeling when he went down there, and it was dark with a lot of trash, especially in the small, shallow creek that ran through it. He stated that he felt like he was going to die down there. What's weird is where I stood at the top of the path, it looked to be bright and clean where he was standing. Anyways, there was a tunnel with water flowing through it that went under the road. While my fiance was looking in the tunnel, he said it looked like the water was raising in certain areas, almost like the water was attracted to someone's feet. But then he heard what sounded like footsteps in the water and a loud splash as he began to run back to the top of the hill. He also said he felt really tired when he came back up, like his energy was drained. So I don't know, it was pretty creepy. Intent was for fire, because me and my friend were calling BS on the app. Saw this on the drive to our location. And that is all for tonight. There weren't as many creepy stories as I thought there was going to be, but I just think that the coincidences and how unexplainable this app is creepy in itself. But I will search through this thread to find the creepiest of the creepiest that aren't already out there circulating in videos. I make another video in the future of creepy stories shared in written word